Hi guys. So this is one of the newest bullying stories, and I made this joke. I still have to make the sophomore year and freshman year video where I just talk about those years as a whole. But for now, we have graduated from high school stories into a college story. And if you guys want to hear more stories from my college days, I have a haunting story for there about something weird that happened, but that's a short video, so I'll just make that a different time. And the college vlog series, you guys saw things that had happened, but this is a story that happened my first year, first semester at CCBC. If you live in, the lovely state of Maryland, you'll know what CCBC is. I'm obviously not going to say the town I live in. That would be stupid. Yeah, so CCBC is a community college, and it is right across from the high school I went to. So I was still able to go visit my friends after their school ended, like the days they wanted to see me. And I would meet up with them there, and we just walk home together because we lived in like the same area. So, it's this story. Okay, so I want to say the professor's name because honestly, this professor like can't get fired. He has tenure, whatever, and you'll see why he deserves to be fired. But I'm gonna say his name anyway because I know the internet is serious business. But what I want to get out is this person does not deserve like any shred of human decency, I guess, for what he put me through. And apparently not only me, there were other people in the class that felt uncomfortable by him. So I'm just gonna say his name. His name is John Sestone. Just gonna put that out there. I don't necessarily think that I don't know what was going on inside his head, but he obviously knew what he was doing was wrong. So the start of the semester, I one-upped him in front of the class. So he was this type of professor where we went in, he was teaching us how to write an essay, and we were just taking notes like any other class. And I guess someone in the class had said, well, we already know how to write an essay. We went through high school writing essays. And so then he was like, fine. He stopped teaching us and he was like, write an essay and I'll grade it. You have 45 minutes to write this essay, go. Didn't really give us a topic. He was like, write about anything. So, needless to say, he just said we all failed. And, like, he started grading it right there because the class wasn't over. Needless to say, we all failed. And I said something like, why do you have to be so rude? Because he was being really rude to one of my friends, so I was like, why do you have to be so rude? I can't keep my mouth shut when I have an opinion. And he was like, well, and then he started talking, he said something about my intelligence, but basically he was insulting my friend's intelligence, and then I told him that basically I said something that made it sound like I was smarter than him, so I embarrassed him in front of the entire class, so that's when he kind of decided to hate me because I embarrassed him in front of the entire class, but like, I'm just gonna say he was asking for it. So, I was waiting for my math class a different day, and he had walked in to get some food, I guess, and so I was watching videos, and he looked over at what I was writing in my binder, which was just some random stuff that I wrote. So I closed my binder when he got closer to look because it was private. And he's like, why don't you take notes like that in my class? Then maybe you'd actually have a chance of passing. And he's like trying to laugh and like whatever. But the way I was sitting in a chair and he was like right behind me, like right up on me, it made me very uncomfortable because he was in my personal space. And obviously by my body language, you could tell I was uncomfortable, but he just didn't leave me alone. And like he wouldn't leave until I laughed. So I forced a laugh that was obviously fake and he just like took it. So I was with my friend Mandy one day and we were sitting in the library and he was coming down the elevator, because the way the library is set up is the library is on top, and then on the bottom was kind of like a place where you can get food, because there's a food place and things like that, and classrooms farther down the hall. So we were sitting, because we were supposed to go in I was supposed to go in the computer lab that day for my class, and she had a class around the same time, so she hung out with me before. And this teacher literally, like, he came up to us, and I got flustered and uncomfortable around him. I was very anxious. I was shaking. So he asked who my friend was, and I was like, yeah, she's, like, I said the name or whatever, and he met her. And then he was like, she's a person, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, because you didn't say, this is my, like, you didn't tell me she was a person. Like, because there was a whole stupid thing about him saying, who is she? Is she a person? I guess I just said no, because I was used to saying no around him. And then he made a joke that she was an alien or something. It's really stupid. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. And then Mandy thought he was funny, and I'm like, no, Mandy. And then I told her the story, and she never thought he was funny again. I'm sorry, there was some dust flying in my face. So I had a presentation. We all had to pick a chapter and do a presentation on it from this stupid book that's back there. Honestly, I didn't know what mine was about, because I didn't have time to read it, because I valued sleep. So there was this one that was called Devil in the Details, and I think it was about digging for oil. So I somehow bullshitted through my presentation, and I did pretty well, except he kept asking me questions. He was like, so the devil in the details, you haven't managed to tell us what that is. Would you mind telling us what it is? Is this the whole reason you're doing this presentation? Did you actually read, or are you just not grasping the thing? Well, this is for people who are very intelligent, so maybe you're not understanding. It still gets me mad to this day. I'm smiling because I'm so angry. Like, I get so angry about this because he just makes me so angry. Anyway, so there was a paper that I did that apparently I didn't do very well on. Okay, we're not here to air my dirty laundry. But so he wanted to have a meeting for the paper, and if you've never been to college, basically if you do bad on a paper, sometimes it's for your grade, but if you do bad on a paper, they'll either write notes on your paper and you can return it in, or they want to have a meeting with you to tell you what to fix, and then you return it in. For a couple of semesters after this semester, I did have meetings with teachers where they would talk to me about it, and then I turn in. Like, you have one meeting where you talk about everything, and then you turn in. Well, this professor decided to throw that all out. When one of my friends in the class had a bad paper, he had one meeting with her, one singular meeting, and then she never met with him again and fixed the paper. He wanted to have a meeting with me. So I went into his office, and I was very uncomfortable. But he talked to me about my paper and asked me questions. Well, then he wanted to talk about my personal life. Like, he was like, I just said that I was feeling anxious because I was moving around in my chair, but I didn't say he made me feel anxious. I said that, I just felt anxious. So then he was talking to me about, well, maybe college isn't the right fit for you if you're going to get so anxious. And like calling out how I've been having panic attacks and I can't handle it. And then I said that he wanted to meet every morning. And I said, look, I can't meet on Friday morning. I'm going to visit my grandma in the hospital. And it was true. Like, I was actually going to. I can't remember what was going on with my grandma. I mean, she passed away now. But anyway, I couldn't remember what was, like, going on with her. So he was just like, oh, how old is your grandma? What's going on with her? Bitch, like, I'm going to tell you. I didn't tell him. And I said, like, the paper was about my mom having what she had. So he was asking how old she was when she came down with it, and I was like, that's none of your business. Asked how old my dad was, asked how old my sister was, asked how old I am now. I only told him my age because I was a student, whatever, but you're not allowed to know about my family's ages. What the fuck? So I was like, whatever. So then, one morning, I decided to blow him off for a meeting because I didn't want to see him. This motherfucker came to where he knew I was in the morning, waiting for my math class, found out where I was in the morning, slammed his hands down on the table in front of me, like slammed his hands down and said, come with me. First of all, I said no. Like, I didn't want to go. He gave me this look that like scared me into submission, I guess. So I said okay shakily and I followed him. I don't even know what to think of this. So I looked up our final grades when they had come out, and I was happy to be rid of him, only to find out he gave me a D. Now people are like, oh, a D, you can still, no. D is failing in college. He failed me because he didn't like me. Or he failed me because he was making advances at me and I didn't give in. I have no idea what this guy wanted, but I will tell you one thing I know about this guy. He was extremely sexist. Extremely sexist. He would definitely degrade me and call me stupid a bunch of times. And he was literally trying to get my attention. I don't know what that was. If you guys heard that bang, I don't know what that was. I literally, like, I don't know if he wanted to get my attention. I don't know if he was trying to flirt with me. I don't know if he was just bullying me. I'm gonna call it he was bullying me until, I mean, please leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to know what you think about this because this guy was so creepy. Like, he looked like those old white guys that, like, prey on young girls. Like, he looked like one of those. And if anybody asked if I tried to report him, I didn't, because the problem is when I talked to somebody about it, the main thing they said to me was, did you have proof it happened? I didn't have proof. I didn't think to get any proof. So because there were no witnesses and because I didn't have any proof, like recordings or anything, they weren't going to like look into it. And my aunt and dad got really mad about that. And it was like, I don't know. So that was my story. Yeah. If you guys want to hear more college stories, also let me know down in the comments. And please be respectful down there, guys. Like, I know some people are probably going to say I deserved it, or some people are going to say that I'm just an object, or some people are going to say I deserve to be hated on because I'm a woman. Please don't. Just leave. If you don't like me, just don't come on my channel. But yeah, it's made me not want to do YouTube for the past few days. But yeah, so anyway, that was my story of my college professor bullying / harassing me. Yeah, I have one more bullying video coming out, but I need to finish the timeline for that, so God knows when it'll come out. But yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!